Hey guys, you are welcome back again to my YouTube channel. I believe you all are doing very fine. Today I'll be showing you how I drafted this off-shoulder blouse. Do watch to the end and don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share this video. Let's quickly dive into the video. These are the materials needed for this tutorial. I have my basic bodice drafted already. I will be coming down by 3 inches and that will serve as my off shoulder. You can go as low as 4 inches, 5 inches, 6 inches. That totally depends on you. So I have just placed my measuring tape like so, minusing 3 inches. And I have my bust point marked, the under bust point and the waistline. I also left about 1 inch for joining and seam allowance. That's my bust span measurement, which is about 8 inches divided by 2 plus half an inch. So that's nipple to nipple. In order to get your cup size measurement, I have a tutorial on that on my channel, kindly check it out. But now I'll be marking 2 inches on the under bust line, on the waistline and on the off shoulder line. I'll be marking 1 inch on the other side following the same pattern like before. I just got my armhole ruler and I'm connecting the points. I'll also get my straight ruler to draw a straight line downwards. I got my curved ruler again to join the point from the bust line to the off shoulder line. As you can see, the shape is already coming out. I'll be marking my shoulder measurement, which is about 16 inches divided by 2 and that is 8. Don't forget we have that there, so I went ahead to transfer the dart, which is about 3 inches. If you don't transfer the dart, you end up having a small shoulder width. I'll be marking an armhole of about 8 inches. Don't forget I had removed 3 inches for the off shoulder. So now I place my tape like this, still marking my 8 inches. I went ahead to connect the points and that gave me the chest line. To get the armhole, I drew a line from that point to the chest line. If you have watched my basic sleeve tutorial, you will observe that the front armhole is different from the back armhole. To get the front armhole, you divide it by 2, which is 4 inches. I've just marked it, then I came in by half an inch. The next thing I'll be doing is to transfer my horizontal measurements. I'll also be taking note of the dart as well. My bust is 9.75, which I have just marked. My under bust is 36 divided by 4, which I have just marked. So I'll be transferring the dart, which that's about half an inch and that's about 3 inches, and I'll also do that for the waistline. I also went ahead to add about 2 inches seam allowance. I went ahead to connect the points and I also took note of the seam allowance, and that's why you can see double lines there. I went ahead to draw my armhole curve. If you noticed, I came in by half an inch. It's time to cut out the front bodice. Now I have the center front and the 2 sides. In order not to confuse the nipple points, I went ahead to extend the line like this, so that when sewing, you will know where to join. Now let's proceed to the back panel. I've also drafted the basic bodice for the back panel, just like the way I did for the front panel, the same measurement. The only difference is that I added a zipper allowance of about 1 inch as I have shown. Otherwise, they will have been totally the same. It's time to also transfer my shoulder measurement, which is about 8 inches. I will be marking down my armhole measurement, which is 8 inches as well. So I've done that already. I'll be drawing a straight line downwards to meet the chest line so that I can create my armhole curve. I also went ahead to transfer my round bust measurement, my round under bust and my round waist measurement. I'll be creating my darts from the bust point. I'll be taking half an inch on both sides of that line, which I'll connect to the bust point. I went ahead to transfer the seam allowance of about 2 inches all the way down. I also took note of the dart allowance. I went ahead to connect the points. I went ahead to create my armhole curve. If you noticed again, I didn't come in by half an inch. To determine the neck design, I came down by half an inch so that I can get a curve neck design. You can decide to leave it like that, it's still very okay. Some people do sweetheart neck, it's still very fine. And from the front panel too, I came down by half an inch and I also created the same neck design. But if you want to do this, you need to align your pattern papers well so that you don't end up having a wrong neck design. It's time to cut out. I'll also be cutting out the back panel as well. When making a blouse or a dress, it's very important you take note of the zip bulge. You need to remove it so that you don't end up having a dress bulging out at the back. So I just did this by coming in by half an inch and also coming out by half an inch, and I'll be drawing that line to the chest line or the bust line just to remove the excess bulge. I also have a tutorial on that on my channel. You can as well check it out. I have 4 pieces for the back panel, and that's because of the zipper allowance. I've just gone ahead to arrange it for you to see, and this is how you will cut it out on your fabric. You can as well add extra sewing allowance while transferring on the fabric. That's the neck design after opening up, and that is how it's going to look after sewing. For the sleeve of the dress, I didn't really do much because I had little fabric. I just used a sleeve length of about 8 inches, which I have marked. I went ahead to connect the point, and that's my sleeve length. On this channel, I have a tutorial on how to draft a basic sleeve, but I will explain little in this video. To get the cap sleeve, you divide your bust measurement by 12 and add your ease. Your ease could be 2 inches or 3 inches or 1 inch, depending on how free you want it to be. So my bust measurement is 39 divided by 12 plus 1 inch, and that gave me 4.25. So that's my cap sleeve measurement. I'll be marking my 4.25 inches this way. And also joining with a straight ruler. This is my armhole, and that is about 5 inches when measured, plus 1 inch ease as I have shown. This measurement gave a total of 6 inches, I'll be marking 6 inches on that cap sleeve line, which I'll connect to the top corner of the pattern paper. Just watch what I did. I'll be getting the midpoint of that diagonal line by folding my tape into 2 like that. I'll mark the midpoint that way. From that point, I came up by ½ an inch, then I drew a line like that. To get the back armhole, you will create a curve like this. To get the front armhole, you will make a curve like this, more like an alternating curve. So do you see how it looks? And that's for the front armhole. To get the round sleeve, I marked 5 inches. That is 10 inches divided by 2 because it's a stretchy fabric and I wanted it to be fitted. So that's the round sleeve, and that line I drew is for the joining allowance. So that's basically how I drafted the sleeve for the dress. In order to cut out accurately, it's good you open it up this way so you can cut out both the front and back armhole. So this is how it's going to be. If you want to make it on your fabric, it's going to be in that position. So that's the sleeve right there. I have used the pattern paper to cut out the fabric. It's very simple. Once you have your pattern drafted, you can easily cut out your fabric. Again, let me quickly show you how I fixed my invisible zipper. When working on a stretchy fabric, it's always better to use an invisible zipper. I marked 1 inch all the way down. I'll be pinning the zipper on those marks. Those lines serve as guide so that you don't sew out of the line, because when you do so, the invisible zipper will not look fine. It won't look nice at all. So here is me pinning the zipper on those marks. After doing this on one side, I will then take it to my sewing machine to stitch. Another easy way to doing this is by unstitching. I mean making use of your needle and thread to first of all do a loose stitching. It will help hold the zipper in place, preferably using a different color of thread. So after stitching down with your hand needle and thread, you take it to the machine to stitch. Then thereafter, you will loosen the old thread. I have just finished pinning down one side. Here is the stitching. It will be easier to stitch this way other than trying to just stitch without holding it down. But if you are a pro, then you can go ahead to sew freely. But I love to hold it down with pins before stitching because it's a very sensitive zipper. So I want to sew on the other side. Watch what I did here. I made sure I aligned the two so that you don't have one side of the back panel longer than the other side. So I made sure they were equal before pinning the zipper on the other side. So because I've worked on one side of the back panels, so it's easier to fix the other side. When doing this, you don't need to be too fast. Just take your time so you don't mess it up. I'm now stitching on the other side. Just watch. In case you want to know how to make a skirt, because I didn't really show that part in this video, I also have a basic skirt pattern on this channel. Just watch how I drafted it. With that knowledge, you will also be able to make this dress. So now the zipper is fixed and is looking very neat. Here is the full dress. so beautiful. This fabric is a little less than 2 years, but yet it came out nice. I really hope this video has been helpful. Kindly give it a thumbs up, do comment, like and share this video. If you are yet to subscribe, please do. See you next time and bye.